Okay, so how do you build a portfolio that can not only survive whatever the market throws at it, but also, actually pounce on big opportunities? Well, today we're diving into a really cool market playbook that's designed for the road to 2026. It's all about blending two powerful ideas, long-term conviction and sharp tactical plays. Let's get right into it. The whole philosophy behind the first part of this strategy is simple and honestly pretty bold. Go big or go home. This is not about sprinkling a little money across 100 different stocks. No way. This is about making focused, high-conviction bets on the ideas you truly believe could deliver some absolutely massive returns over the next cycle. So here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with the big picture playbook. Then we'll get into its two main pillars, long-term conviction and tactical catalysts. After that, we'll put it all into practice with a really interesting case study on the solar sector. And then, of course, we'll bring it all together at the end. All right, let's zoom out and look at the whole game plan. The real goal here is to build a portfolio that's genuinely robust, something that can handle anything. It's about laying a solid foundation for that next big market upswing, but also staying light on your feet so you can jump on those shorter-term, theme-driven moves as they pop up. Okay, first up, pillar one. This is the bedrock of the entire strategy, long-term conviction. Think of this as the patient, foundational part of the work. We're talking about sniffing out the potential market leaders of tomorrow and then just steadily, deliberately building up our positions in them over time. This is the absolute core of the portfolio. And this quote right here, this is a total mindset shift that's absolutely crucial. Instead of freaking out when the market drops, this strategy actually sees it as a gift. Seriously, lower prices on incredible, innovative companies? Well, that just becomes a golden opportunity to scoop up more shares at a discount, making your core positions even stronger for the long haul. So you might be asking, which companies actually make the cut for this? Well, here's the 2026 conviction list. You'll see names like Tesla, Affirm, and Rocket Lab. These are all companies that have been identified as high-growth, innovative leaders that could really define the next market cycle. These are the ones you'd be looking to accumulate over time. Now let's flip the coin and look at the other side of the portfolio. Pillar 2. This is where we get tactical. While that conviction list is all about patience, this pillar is about speed and opportunity. It's focused on these things called catalyst-driven trades, basically finding specific sectors or themes that look like they're getting ready to make a big, near-term move. So what exactly is a catalyst-driven trade? Well, think of it as a targeted strike, usually for the short to medium term. You're hunting for stocks that are technically building up a ton of energy, like a spring that's being coiled tighter and tighter, just waiting to explode upwards. And to really capitalize on that move, options are often the tool of choice to amplify those potential gains. Okay, theory is one thing, but let's make this real. We're going to walk through an actual, real-world example of a catalyst-driven trade by taking a close look at the solar sector and see exactly why it's popping up on the radar right now. So yeah, let's dig into the solar sector. I mean, this group has been in a long, painful downtrend for a while now. But if you look at the charts, the technical picture is starting to whisper that a major turnaround might just be on the horizon as we head towards 2026. The whole case for solar really boils down to three key things. First, you've got the setup. A lot of these stocks have been building these huge price bases for months or even years. Second, the evidence. You can see clear signs of accumulation volume, which is just a fancy way of saying it looks like the big institutions are quietly buying up shares. And finally, the outlook. You put it all together, and it points to a sector that could be ready for a really significant run. And check this out. This chart of TAN, the solar ETF, it just shows the whole story perfectly. You can see how the price action is getting tighter and tighter after that long slide. And notice those big green volume spikes on the days it moves up? That's the accumulation we were just talking about. It's a classic sign that big money might be setting up their positions before the trend flips. Now let's zoom in on a single stock, Sunrun, or RUNN. See that? A crystal clear break of that long downtrend line. That is a textbook signal, folks. It suggests the power is finally shifting from the sellers to the buyers, and it often acts like the starting gun for a whole new uptrend. And then you've got the leaders of the pack, like First Solar, FSLR. This chart is showing what traders call relative strength. After this absolutely massive move up, it's not crashing back down, nope. It's just moving sideways, consolidating those gains in a powerful pattern called a high tight flag. A breakout from that would just scream that its leadership role is going to continue. And hey, this catalyst approach isn't just for solar. Let's look at another one, ROKU. On the left, you see a really similar picture, this huge multi-year base getting carved out. Classic accumulation. But what's so powerful is how you can take that complex-looking chart, and on the right, it boils down to a super simple actionable trade plan. It has a clear trigger, a clear plan, and a clear target. Okay, so let's put all the pieces back together. How do these two pretty different pillars, the patient, long-term conviction pillar, and the fast-moving, short-term catalyst pillar, how do they actually combine into one single, powerful strategy? Here you go, a perfect side-by-side. On one hand, you have the conviction strategy. You're patiently building that core portfolio of tomorrow's leaders, using any weakness to buy more. And on the other hand, you've got the catalyst strategy, staying sharp, ready to execute these nimble tactical trades on setups that are ready to pop right now. Together, they give you this incredible balance of long-term growth and short-term firepower. And just to make this even more practical, here are several other tactical ideas that fit that catalyst model perfectly. Just take a look. Each one has a specific breakout price to watch and an initial target. It's a clear roadmap for execution, all based on the analysis from the source material. So this really brings us to the big question for all of us in our own portfolios. Are we being driven more by that patient long-term conviction, or are we always on the hunt for that next short-term catalyst? As this whole playbook shows, maybe, just maybe, the real secret sauce is in finding a way to blend both.